Welcome guys. Welcome to Daily Crypto Trading. Today we're going to do a TA of XRP. And let's dive straight into it, guys. Today we're going to look at the Altcoin Season Index, Cryptosphere Index. We're going to look at the fundamentals. We're going to look at the dominance of altcoins and Bitcoins. We're going to look at Bitcoin price and what kind of effect it has for XRP and altcoin in general. And then we're going to look at the short-term and long-term price action or target of XRP. But remember guys, I am not your financial advisor. Always do your own due diligence before you invest in any crypto assets, since they are extremely volatile and you have a high chance of losing your money if you have no idea what you're doing. And let's jump straight into it, guys. At the moment, if we're looking at the daily chart of XRP, we can see that XRP are making a beautiful bullish pennant. So what does that mean? Well, that is mean there's a higher probability for us to see an outbreak to the upside, right? But even though this is looking good, we also need to stay realistic. So if we just zoom in, I'm going to show you something different, guys. We need volume. At the moment, we have an average volume. You guys seeing is barely going up. This is an important indicator. This usually tells us if we see some price action, right? If there's any price action. And at the moment, there's not a lot of volume. Volume is really important in trading 101. If you look at my indicator, we are getting a bit overbought. So we might see some, downside to it, find some kind of bottom and liquidity. And if we have a look at the RSI is also a key indicator to look at. We are not in an oversold area or overbought area at all, but we are above the 50. And if you've been following my channel, you know that I always say that once we are above the RSI 50, that means we are in an uptrend. When we are below it, we are in a downtrend. All right, this is clearly just to see here. When we are below it, we are in a downtrend. Where we are above it, we are in an uptrend. All right. Then we make what we call a higher high. When this candlestick are higher the previous, or a lower high when these lows are getting higher than these previous candlesticks. That is why it is important to look at the RSI when things are over 15 and look if we are getting a higher high. This is a clear indicator that we're going to the upside. All right. However, there is a twist here. Let me show you. All right. RSI stock are telling us a different story. It's telling us that things are getting a bit overheated in the daily, and that usually means that we need to bounce back. And as you guys can see, the VPVR is also telling us right here there's a lot of resistance. There's a lot of heavy resistance. So what does that mean? Well, that just means there's a lot of sellers ready to sell the XRP at these price level. So there's a lot of volatility, a lot of activity in these kind of areas. So the RSI stock are telling us that it's getting overheated. The DPR also telling us this might get overheated. So we need to see where it might bounce, right? And there's a lot of indicators you can use. All right, you can use the FIB levels, or you could just use the previous candle. Say, you know what? Here there is some good support right there, or you can use the VPVR. All right. In my opinion, if you just look at it in a technical point of view, we can see there's a lot of a lot of support at this area, right? That is not a beautiful line, as I have mentioned, but it's a line. There's a lot of support at this area, right? It's not the greatest support, but there is still great support. What does that mean? That means we call this the demand zone. A demand zone just means there's a lot of liquidity ready. So right over here, there's a lot of liquidity as well. We call again this the demand zone in a tier world, all right, in technical point of view. And if you look at the MACD is just telling us there has been a small trading point to the upside. Nothing too big, but at the moment we are looking in a bullish momentum. And that is because there's some fundamental change, and the psychologically are changing in XRP's price action. All right, I will be back with the fundamentals about that. So a fast price action, a price target, I will say if we look at the falling wedge, let me just show you guys. If you look at this is a falling wedge. This is usually an uptrend continuation, right? So we have a falling wedge, beautiful falling wedge, and we break the trend line. So we have a continuation for uptrend. I will say we will get around $1 if we take this line over here, right here, measured right here, so that they pretty much fit, and just do like this. it is telling us around $1, right? Yeah, around $1, just a bit below it. And also, if we take a tool, which we call the, let me just, I believe it's called the horizontal tool. Let me just find it in my indicator. It is right here. Why is the name's not showing? Yeah, horizontal ray, right? And we just do something like this, right? Where the last point of candlestick has been, we can see where there's a lot of resistance and support. Do you guys see right there? There's a lot of touching point for the candlestick, all right? This is where there's a lot of resistance, and when we are above this, it can be used as a support. Look just how beautiful it is bouncing back from this support, all right? And we can make this over here because there's a lot of, are you guys seeing this? A lot of touching point also here. So we can get below 0.80, of course. We can also use our Fibonacci layer tool to use it. I use this Fibonacci tool called trend-based Fibonacci extension instead of the Fibonacci retracement. It's the same tool, but just different way to use it. This is my favorite. I use it a lot. So if we do it like this, we can clearly see that the 1.236 fib level, there's around $1, or the fib level 1. There, in my opinion, we are already overextended, but there is a lot of resistance that we can, in the short term, in a couple of weeks or days, hit $1, around $1 in my opinion. However, after that, we will see some retracement back to $0.75 or fib level 0.382, the golden pocket, or even lower than that. But in my opinion, $1 is looking a possibility. But there are, of course, some factual things we also have to check before we believe it might go to $1. And the other thing is, again, this is overheated, so we need to have a small pullback to around the fib level 0.382. all right? That is really important because we can't just keep going up, then we are getting way too overheated. All right, so we need to just calm down, the calm before the storm. Also, remember, everything is correlated with Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin suddenly decides to crash, say bye Felicia, go down, it will drag XRP down. And not to mention that XRP is still in a lawsuit, and I will be back with that. So just keep that in mind. But there is a, I will say 65% chance of probability to the upside. We just need to see it to settle down. We need to see the RSI stock to calm down, to go to the oversold area, not the overbought, because usually this is here when things go south. All right, so this is just important to understand. Now let's jump to the weekly charts, to the more long-term investment or the price target of XRP. So if you look at the weekly chart, these candlesticks represent 1 week. So there's a lot of candlesticks right here. All right, we are seeing we're in a huge bullish pennant. All right, and this trend line, guys, be aware of this trend line. All right, just look at it and remember this trend line, or draw your own trend line. This trend line is extremely important because once we break that, make a higher high, we have a high probability for great gains, a great upside. All right, and just like in the daily, we don't have a lot of volume. However, this is actually pretty good because we have, let me just show you, we have a decreasing volume, but we have a decreasing price action. All right, this is good. If our price action went up instead, this is bad because usually that means that the price will just tank. However, once we see this kind of price action of the volume, that usually means that the volume will spike above the average, and it will make a FOMO stance where people will just buy XRP so we can break out of this trend line. And because of the SEC case with Ripple and this lawsuit is building tension, right? So far, XRP is really doing well in the lawsuit. If you're following Twitter, you're following the different, I believe there was a lawyer called Jeremy Hogan, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but he also has a YouTube channel, and he's dedicated to the XRP community and the XRP case. And he is telling us in normal English what is happening, not lawyer talk, right? And so far it's actually looking pretty good, and this have a huge impact in the XRP price, because remember, these are nothing but human emotion. So if, and not if, it's just question is when. So as I was saying, when the lawsuit is done, or there's a settlement with XRP, most likely a settlement with Ripple and the SEC, and it's done, and XRP can actually get relisted to the different exchanges, and the US citizens can actually buy XRP again. That is new liquidity getting into the XRP market. That is extremely important to understand. So money flowing into XRP market cap yet again will make XRP more valuable, and the price will of course automatically surge. So this is all market psychology. Anyway guys, let's look at the TA yet again for XRP. If you look at the RSI for the weekly, just below 50, right? Just kissing the 50, which indicate we're still in downtrend in the weekly, right? But the week is not done, guys. So hopefully we see that it's above 50, right? And it holds the 50. That means that we are still in an uptrend. If you guys are looking like this, we're making a higher high, a higher high, and a higher high, and a lower high and lower high. Do you guys see right here in the weekly? That is an important thing to understand as well. All right. So this indicates we might go to the $1 target as I was talking about, and then we will see some retracement unless, you know, the XRP case just settled right away. I don't think that. I've been following the case. I don't believe there's still some month. Hopefully they will settle it, but I'm pretty sure the SEC will just keep fighting XRP. All right, so hopefully in a few months this will get over and we will win the case. So the XRP can get relisted and we can get some money yet again. If you look at the RSI stock again, we are getting overheated. You guys know right over here, as I've been talking about, once we get overheated, we will try to settle down, you know, try to retrace a bit. This is very normal. Remember, these kind of price action or these candlesticks are going in waves, all right? They don't go straight up. That is never healthy, all right? This is healthy, slowly going up, all right? We can also use Elliott wave. I don't want to use Elliott wave, right? Because we can see this is a 1, this is a 2, and this is a 3. I don't want to use that because we need more confirmation before I use the Elliott wave. As for the MACD, nothing much to see besides in a turning point. We are seeing blue, which is green, and they're crossing over. Usually that is a bullish indicator. I'm still skeptical about this because in the RSI stock, we are still overheated. We need to calm down before we see a new price action for XRP. You know, when we need to do an uptrend for XRP. But in my opinion, and this is not in a technical point of view, this is more speculative point of view. I do believe, like I said, last year and early in this year, that this year will be XRP's year and we will see $10 XRP. Now, what do I think about that? Why I'm speculating that there will be a $10 XRP, right? And that is pretty realistic compared to what people are saying about $100 XRP. I don't believe that within 1 year that we'll get 100 XRP. Just that doesn't make any sense, right? We need a lot of liquidity to make this happen. Now, there's of course a possibility, but the possibility is extremely low. $10 is more realistically, and is possible to have that. Now, if you look at between 2017 and 18, XRP, I remember this time, it was around this time, XRP had a big price surge. A lot of wallets were created, a lot of price action were there. XRP was the only altcoin that surpassed Ethereum twice. All right, I believe it went to $3.5, $4. All right, and it just surpassed Ethereum before it went down again. I don't know what the hell that happened, but there was a lot of liquidity suddenly just getting into XRP, and it just had a big price jump. I remember Binance was still new at that time, that it couldn't handle all that volume, so it just froze out. I couldn't sell my XRP to rebuy the XRP yet again. However, that is why I believe once we get more liquidity, once we get the case is over, we add it to the exchange again, so such as Coinbase, when the US citizen can actually buy, there's a lot of liquidity, a lot of money waiting for XRP to get into XRP to put the price yet up again. That is why I'm speculating. But again, this is pure speculation because this is not a technical point of view. I can't predict price action that far from the future. That's not a possibility in my opinion. So yeah, I believe there's a $10 XRP. But guys, let's look at the altcoin season index as well. And if we jump over to the altcoin season index, we are not near to an altcoin season compared to what the big influencers are saying to you. The narrative that we are getting close to altcoin season, we're not there at all. We're more closer to a Bitcoin season. That is what this indicator is telling us, and I pretty much just agree. If you just look down, look, we are just right there, closer to a Bitcoin season than an altcoin season. And if you just look at the past top 50 performance of the last season, 19 days, just look, most of them have been in red, and the things that have been in green is Waves and Osmo and Leo. I don't have no idea what they are, except Waves. 109%. in 90 days. That's a lot in a traditional stock, but in crypto it's not a lot. So this is actually pretty bad. So whoever's saying that we're in an altcoin season either is just putting their agenda on you or just purely lying, because this is just not truth. All right. But once we're in altcoin season, and if we're in altcoin season, that is where the most money are made. So you buy in red, sell in green. All right. And let's jump to the crypto fear and greed index. Now this indicator is awesome to use. All right. Because when we are in the greed, when we are in a greed or extreme greed, this is also the indicator that's telling us that we need to sell at least 25% of some of our portfolio, because that is where people are way too greedy. All right. Because when people are greedy, the market will have no mercy at all. It will just, the big manipulators or the big players will just sell the portion off and take your money from you. Remember, these are paper money, nothing more than that. And a lot of people who's into crypto are into crypto because of money. So this indicator is great. However, if you just look at the indicator at the moment, is 30. And if you look at yesterday, it was 31. And last week and last month, we were in extreme fear. Now, extreme fear means that the price will be pushed down. However, normally when I buy in extreme fear and I sell in extreme greed. But because we're in a downtrend, there will always be fear all the time, not that much greed. And I just try to find the bottom. But it's like catching a falling knife. And of course, if you know about risk management, you can DC your way down. Dollar cost averaging your way down, so you minimize your losses. So remember, every time it goes down, you can buy more, and you can get the average price, because when the search buy up, then you can sell out either zero, so you don't lose anything, or some gains, right? If you're uncertain with the project or whatever. But DC your way down is always great. Risk management is the key word. Remember that, have that, write it down. Stick up to something. It's really important that in trading 101 you have risk management. Otherwise, you're not a trader, you're a gambler. So if we anyway just jump to the dominance of the stable coins of Bitcoin and altcoins, we can see that Bitcoin dominance are going down. Now, what does that mean? So when Bitcoin dominance goes down, that make altcoins such as XP shine. All right, that's just mean that altcoins are outperform Bitcoin and the dominance are stronger than Bitcoin. Now, I made this chart so you guys, it's a lot easier to use. You can relate to it instead of different charts. So remember, Bitcoin dominance at the moment is breaking to the downside, because when we have a rising wedge, usually that means some price action will fall down and there will be a downfall, right? I don't think the downfall is the right term to use, but anyway, you guys know what I mean. It will go down. So when this goes down, the altcoin goes up, means that they are outperforming the price of Bitcoin. That doesn't mean the Bitcoin price is going down, it can go up, but it just means that all coins are outperforming Bitcoin compared to gains and so on. Stable coins is actually going up, as you guys are seeing. That means there's other people are getting a bit fearful, right? So when the stable coins dominance are getting up, that means that people are selling off the altcoin and Bitcoin and turning into, of course, stable coin. Once stable coins dominance is going down, like this, that usually mean they're turning their money or stablecoin into some of the altcoin project or into Bitcoin. All right, be aware of that. So we are again in a rising wedge, usually mean they will go down like this, and the altcoins can go and shine. So in the short term, as I was showing you guys, I do believe we have a $1 XRP. Then we will have a retracement to around 0.5, 0.7 XRP, right? And in the long term, once the XRP case, the lawsuit is settled and the liquidity are pouring into XRP yet again, I do believe we have a big chance, a high probability for $10 XRP. But remember that this is more speculative than a technical point of view. But I extremely do believe, because this is also where my money is. So this is what I believe, of course. Anyway, guys, if you enjoy my content, subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the alert button, and of course, join our free Telegram group, guys. Remember, everything what I do is for free. This is only for educational purpose, nothing more. And of course, guys, see you in the Telegram group.